again to the wide world of Wargaming, Age of Sigmar podcast. As always, we are your hosts, Alex, John, Garrett, and Jeremy. We this is our second to last show of the wide world of Wargaming as we go on to In Your Phase Media. But we do have the executive producer and creator of Wide World of Wargaming, Vincent Morgado, with us tonight. Vincent, as always, like we've done in the past and in the 40K episodes prior to, what's on your workbench?
So I actually am doing something I have not done for a very long time. Y'all are going to be shocked by this. I am hobbying.
What?
Freak out.
You can hobby X-Wing stuff?
He's got jokes. And number one, yes, you can, but I don't. I am in the process of painting all of my Death Corps of Kree cavalry, all 38 of them, because I'm a masochist, into Union cavalry colors. So a vast majority blue and gold with a limited amount of brown.
Nice.
The only problem is that the banner I'm using keeps snapping. So that I may have to correct that guy's last. I'm throwing that to the end of the project.
I already envision your display board. It's just going to be a bunch of burning buildings.
I'm missing this joke.
General Custer?
Yeah, yeah.
Sherman, sorry, Sherman. Yeah.
What I did hear, though, was that you are definitely planning 3 distinct colors. I heard a brown, I heard a blue, and I heard a gold. So
I mean, it's not gray. It's not 3 different grays.
Hey, right here.
I mean, hey, you got to live up to your infamy, man. Accept it.
Well,
I mean, come on. I look at my virtual background.
I was going to say, like that fine picture of me that you have posted there.
He is okay. So Vince is honestly taking this like a fucking champ. There are Facebook groups that, like, out of nowhere, I'll go on and like I'll see Vince tagged, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is he tagged in this? And immediately I realize that it's like, oh, someone's giving him shit who like doesn't even know him from like years ago, and it's like, oh, you're gonna have to.
This is now like 3 or 4 LVOs ago.
Infamy.
3 years ago.
It's like the thing I love is like every time you have a Vince story, it's like a cautionary tale to tell your future generations of wargamer.
I am the don't be that guy. I am that guy.
He's Icarus. He flew too close to the sun, and the sun was just John Weimander's face.
Hey, you know what? To be fair, no. To be
I wish
fair,
I had that background cued.
At least I'm not like our friend who will go unnamed, who ended up alone at the judges' table, just kind of hunched over, mad because he got DQ'd in round 2. Shout out Aaron A. Long.
No, you took it like a champ that year. I mean, well, you took it at least.
You took it like a champ. No. He did. He was like
after the moment that got you thrown out.
Yep.
After that bubble, you took it. No. There was the taking it like a champ.
Listen, I want to clarify this. I was told I could remain if I got up to 3 paint before the next round. The problem was I had no hobby supplies on me.
Well.
So there you go. My options were to not get thrown out or to get thrown out with style.
Yeah. Okay. And you know what? And check this out. I will throw one more thing on this, and this is a little known secret, a little known fact. I ran a practice tournament right before the LVO.
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. A tournament in which I disqualified Paul McKelvey and Brian. What's his name?
Brian
Pullen for going beyond time and not finishing enough turns. So I gave him a 0 on the top table in the last round.
Very nice.
They played a 1-round game. But then, the reason it makes it pertinent is that Mr. Vincent Morgado showed me the same models that got him booted from the LVO. I looked at that day and determined that they had adequate number of colors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it was a white, a gray, and a black, but there were 3 colors to my eye.
And let's be honest.
But I don't want to re-legislate this. It was 3 years ago. Let's not re-legislate.
So I just thought I'd bring the small detail up. Vince, my gosh, tell us more about what's on your workbench.
Other than that, eventually I do have to get around to painting the aforementioned said Grey Guardsman. As you guys know, I did kind of rage quit 8th edition after a very solid beating from our good friend Michael Schwartz.
It was that?
You were not there for that.
No, I heard about it, but I didn't know it was that. Yeah.
That was why I quit. It was the old combination of Smash Captains, Raven Guard heavy weapons, and a guard artillery battalion. And nah.
Oh, was this right when Space Marines came out?
This was when they were stacking the free shot even after you're dead with the reroll ones to hit and the reroll ones to wound. I lost my mind. Yes. So I stepped away from 8th edition because it wasn't fun. There's no other way to put it. But I like what I'm seeing from 9th. I'm especially liking the limiting of the -1 modifiers to hit. I think that was super important for the game and the health of the game. Shout out all you Eldar Flyer players. You just wait. Vengeance is coming. And so my workbench is going to be Death Corps of Krieg for the foreseeable future.
Oh, another wallet buster.
No,
No,
okay.
he's got the models. He's had the
Oh,
models.
you already have the models? Oh, man.
Yeah, I have them all.
Yeah,
I think I bought some. Didn't I trade you Bretonia for Death Corps?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just imagine Vincent to just sleep in a bed full of like Lehman Russes and like Chimeras. Am I really that off?
But I've always known him to have Death Corps as long as I've known Vince. That's the other aspect of it.
I actually sleep on a World War I British Army cot wherever I go. But the pillow is I upgrade that every couple of years.
I thought it was a body pillow of Creed.
God.
No,
no, not Creed.
Cadia remembers, and then.
But I'm supposed. But that. Well, sorry, Jeremy. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I really want us to make like an in memoriam video of all the weird moments of 8th edition from like Vincent's story and.
You saw the in memoriam for the chaplain trip, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
and then Alan PJ Pants at a BAO, and then like Aaron Along like just
Whitney,
having a memoriam.
No. Hey, we can't leave out Whitney Big Tits.
Yes, Whitney Big Tits also. It's just
Alex,
just like,
you know me. I remember everything.
It's just such an amazing, like, in terms of weird stories from top players, 8th edition was solid.
But, it was.
8th was a step above our normal level of insanity from the competitive community. I mean, we ranked up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, John, what's on your workbench, bro?
Hey, there seems to be missing. There's got to be something else over there. What's that?
You can't see it, but I'm drinking Modelo Especial.
Ah, very nice. I say it looks like a nice clear liquor you have. So I myself haven't been up to very much, I'll be honest with you. Kind of been working on some graphics and logos and stuff like that in the background. And unfortunately, I've been insanely busy at work, leaving me with precious little free time. But I have received the rest of my Necrons in, which is a nice little scarab swarm that I picked up to complement things. So I have all the the Necrons now, and all I'm waiting for is my my 2 Indomitus boxes. I am looking to get rid of a set of rule books, so if you know me, hit me up about that. Other than that,
John, well, I'll call you.
Yeah. The problem was, you see, everybody wanted the Space Marine half of the box. Nobody wanted the Necron half of the box. Well, I figured if I just start a Necron army, then I would want both halves of the box. And, as I might have an expert to turn to help me learn the army. Not you. I meant Michael Celeste, my local player. Then we should be doing pretty good. So other than that, I had a little bit of fun this weekend at the farmer's market and picked up a passion fruit vine. So I planted that out in the garden, and it's turned out to be a crazy plant. You plant a plant, it's supposed to like chill for a couple days while it gets settled in. Well, one day after I planted it, it had grown 3 inches up the trellis. So
I saw your Facebook post. You were like, "Girl, what you doing?" Like,
yeah, like it's out of control.
Make it up for lost summer. Let's go. We got to move it.
We got to do it. And then other than that, finally got my General's Handbook hard copy. So like everybody, I bought it in the app, and the app is good for like referencing rules and looking things up. Certainly during a game, it's nice not carry. But I'm one of those ones that when I want to like sit down and absorb something, I'm classically trained to read a paper book, and just the way I absorb words, it's always better. So now that I finally have this book in hand, starting to really dive into the General's Handbook, and we've already covered it for 2 full episodes, so I'm not going to add anything in my workbench. So that's about it. And after that, I'm finally enjoying.
John, real quick, you said that you had a couple of books, you were going to get rid of both rule books, but you kept a General's Handbook. Are you not keeping one of your 40K rule books from Indominus?
No, that's what I said. I have one whole set of the rule books to get if somebody needs them.
Oh, John.
Because I got 2 Indominus box sets, and I'm going to keep all the models from both sets, and then just one set of the books.
John, right here.
Yeah, but boom, first person to say it, you got it. Well, hit me up afterwards. I'll mail it to you. Easy peasy.
I'll call you.
Okay, cool. Other than that,
go ahead, please. I wanted to pop in with one thing just because it came up while John was talking. This is a cultural question. You guys notice how, like, some of us, I say older guys, like dudes who have been in the games for a long time, we can't ever really get away from having the book open and like a piece of paper next to it. Like I grew up on that old, was that 3.5 D&D. I will never be able to do anything with a rule book without having binder paper or printer paper next to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just required. In case I have to write something down, I gotta have a pen and paper there.
I'm the bad kind of person that writes in rule books.
Oh, yeah, Jesus.
I have had atrocious handwriting my whole life.
I believe that.
My favorite experience was so in 5th grade. My teacher had us write a letter to ourselves, and he was going to mail it to us when we graduated high school. I got that mailed to me when I graduated high school. I opened it up, and it looked like I had written it that year. Basically, between 5th grade to senior year in high school, I had not improved my handwriting.
Garrett, there are some stories, probably best kept to yourself.
So since I'll finish off my workbench then to offset poor Mr. Garrett. As you guys know, I actually went to both trade school and college to be a drafts person, and so I was classically trained in calligraphy. Taught how to design fonts on paper. In fact, part of my education was designing my own font and then having to use that font on all the technical drawings that I did in school. So when I choose to, I have beautiful, brilliant writing, and when I'm slopping around, most people can still make out what I'm saying. So I actually have very, very nice writing. And I'll add on that, because there's always another layer, right? I print everything. But I actually have beautiful cursive because I used to get in trouble a lot in school and used to have to write sentences after sentences in cursive. I will not talk back in class. I will not talk, and all these kind of stuff. And in 8th grade, I'm sitting there writing, and Sister Mary Evangela, I'm sure God rest her soul because she was an ancient crone at the time, comes by and cracks my hands with a ruler and says, "Mr. Zezo," my name at the time, "your writing is not very nice." And I looked at her and I said, "Sister Mary Evangela, when I leave your class, I am never going to write cursive again." And I stopped writing cursive in 8th grade because of that. So with that, I'm enjoying some of the Bale Vinny 12 this week. However we get that in front of my camera, it's kind of confusing. Yeah. And Mr. Jeremy might have a little something to say about that as well. So I'm going to go a little bit out of order. What's on your workbench, Jeremy?
Apparently cursive. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's
cursive and bad baseball teams.
Yeah, well, for fuck you, and secondly, to reiterate, I don't have a problem just using digital copies. I stopped using all physical copies of books, basically.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's been, you know what? I'm getting older. I need to use my memory more, I guess. Like, that's the excuse. I don't need a crutch anymore. I'm just kidding. What's on my?
I'm almost old enough to need
Stop it,
crutches though,
please.
so that's it.
I'm sorry. Wait, how is mobile not a crutch?
Because I don't need to use it that often. Like most of the times, people just make me like the only times I use it for anything is just when I like end a tournament is when people want to see the war score themselves, and it's just quicker for me to pull it up on my phone.
Luckily when you play Sylvaneth, you got me just shouting you all the rules.
Yeah,
so
that's true. That's true. That was nice. That was nice. Can I just bring you along to all my events so I don't have to deal?
Here's
with
Caddy now, Garrett.
Sylvaneth.
Congratulations.
but on my real workbenches, I'm painting Illuminative right now. I got about almost 5 done so far. I'm going very slowly about this, but I'm also assembling Sisters of Battle for. I think that's gonna be my 2020 like build hobby for 40K because I have a fully commission painted Imperial Fist army that just looks amazing that we'll be picking up this week for 9th edition celebration. Like that was my treat to myself last year. It's taken this long to get it done, which is, I don't have a problem with that because they look just fucking amazing. Thanks to Carl Payne's awesome work. He's also
if anybody
making
can do Imperial Fist, it's Carl Payne.
Actually,
he real well.
He tried a new yellow technique on it. It looks awesome. He's also making me a display board. And if you don't know anything about Carl, he makes amazing display boards. So
He's really talented.
I'm really looking for that. For context, the man works in basically in a company that makes like robotic characters for, I think, TV or something. Like it's very engineering mixed with like art, basically. So it's really I'm really looking.
So he's like a set designer for TV shows and stuff.
I don't know if it's for TV shows specifically. I just know that he basically designs like robots. I think he might actually
live in the dream. Live in the dream.
Studio Leica. I think they contract.
One of his hobbies outside of course Warhammer is like speed racing drones.
Oh, he's one of those guys?
He tried explaining it to me and I was like, dude, like I couldn't. And John, like I think you would immediately get the vertigo from it. Like it's like
I actually know all about it and have watched some videos and stuff of it. It is outside my capabilities. Like
I watched it and I was like, I'm disoriented. Like holy shit.
Also, speed racing drones is a very expensive hobby. I have
I'm sure. Oh, I hit a tree.
I have a family friend who makes custom speed racing drones for people. That's his like business. He sells those things for like $3,000.
Oh,
like that's like the lowest.
No, I can see it. My mom used to own an RC hobby shop, so even back in the day, stuff like that was crazy expensive. Nowadays, must be insane.
The gas-powered RC cars is still a huge business.
Wow.
I still know mad people who do that out in the valley mostly.
Yep. The hobbies don't die very easily. Well, that's for sure. Unless Games Workshop tries to kill them. And then, so that's my workbench. I'm working with Sister and Luminef. So I'm trying to think if there's anything I want to add to this. Well, I should, because I'm going to forget by the end of the show. Please tune in on Sundays to watch the stream game with me and Alex. Alex managed to win 1 game last Sunday.
Yeah, 1 out of 4 or 5.
I will say, for playing Better Part of Valor, bringing a Sylvaneth list with 15 battle line models was not smart.
He had 20 battle line and he summoned 20 more in the game.
No, he had 15. He had 3 units of 5 spites.
And I summoned 30.
It was 3 or 5?
Yeah, it's 3 or 5, and I summoned 30. But the point was that there was no movement when they were summoned, so they could never get an objective. So it was just like, hey! No, it was a good educational game of the new Better Part of Valor. Yeah. Obviously, like I knew from the get-go. But anyway, watch the game, see Alex win, even though he was complaining about how he's going to lose the game because he made a turn 1 charge with the Rogue Idol, and that won him the game.
I shouldn't have done that.
That wasn't more like,
but that was what won you the game.
Yeah, I forgot to charge. I guess you win, Alex.
No, it was one of those.
It wasn't that won him the game, but it definitely he didn't need to. You just need to kill off your battle line.
Well, the problem is
if you watch it, it's really funny because I'm there the entire time, totally forgetting that I took his objective turn 1, the one in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, the math just doesn't work out. Like I've lost. I've nothing I can do. And then I look and I'm like, oh yeah, I forget. Like you color coordinate with the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Just not all of them work. And so I was like, oh wait, it's blue. Oh wait, I'm blue. Oh wait.
Yeah. So long story short, Alex won. He made a charge that he lamented as being bad, but in retrospect, it was actually a good charge.
Yeah.
Because Garrett forgets that he was in combat with the Kurnoth hunters, and I would have been able to put in 3 of them in their hard boys, which would have probably you still probably would have killed the unit, but it would have given me an opportunity to get the Kurnoth up the middle of the board, and then on my turn would have been able to get into his objective that turn, which that's like that charge was what won him the game effectively, in the tempo play. So watch the game. I know I basically revealed all the spoilers.
I mean, I was just clearly playing like 5D chess there, so you know.
But I would greatly appreciate obviously more viewership for sure, and comments and advice and recommendations what they want to see on the stream. Follow me on Twitter, and we already have a poll out for what we're gonna play next weekend. So hit us up. All right, that was like because I always keep forgetting to do this at the end of the show, so I was just like, fuck it, I'll just do it now. Sorry, guys.
You should just always do it now.
Yeah, because by the end of the show, I'm too drunk anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right.
Oh, fuck.
Garrett, what's on your fucking workbench?
So I'm finishing up the last of my Busky cider. So I got my watermelon rosemary here.
Oh,
sounds disgusting.
It actually is.
You guys suck.
Bad.
Look, you know what? Garrett and Alex are on either side of me. I'm going to tell you how much this is about to suck.
Well, we haven't gotten to my workbench yet, but you can tell by the color.
This is gonna. Spoiler alert. This is gonna be like how Mr. Meth on his stream is talking about making like spicy pepper peanuts, like habanero peanuts or something.
Pepsi milk.
No, he was also looking at making the like ghost pepper peanuts, and I'm like,
delicious.
That'll just murder me. So the watermelon rosemary is actually surprisingly good. It's a nice light flavor to it. And then I'll be finishing up the tonight with a Bride the Current. It's a hard cider with black currants in it. Also from Busky. Busky's down in Richmond.
Can I make a quick observation here? I know you didn't have any meetings today because you're not wearing a vest or a shirt. Yeah. I just noticed that.
When have I ever had a meeting? No. Yeah. See, it's not laundry day because on laundry day I wear my button-up shirts.
Got it.
For the record, Garrett is wearing a shirt. No sense rushing over to the video.
Again, we have not set up the OnlyFans account yet.
Alex is too slow on that. He's trying to collect enough bath water to sell it.
Oh my God.
You gotta get that French bath water going. I told you. Oh, I get it. You're trying to conserve. You're trying to do it for the environment. You're trying to stay green, Jeremy. You got to take a shower every day for us to get enough water. You can't go every other day.
What do you got there, Garrett? What is that?
Yeah. So I also just recently got myself 3 boxes of Phoenix Guard.
Oh no, you monster!
What?
I've been borrowing James's Phoenix Guard forever, but he doesn't have banners and drums. So I've just been like, yeah, they have a banner, obviously. Whenever I play with them.
Yeah, it's the last one to die.
Correct answer.
Yeah, so I bought my own 30. Just because Phoenix Guard are disgusting. They're really good. I've had a blast using them. So I'm going to start. I just got these yesterday, and I got myself my glue came in right before the podcast.
Oh.
So I can actually start building that.
Did they went up in points in GHB 2020? I didn't even know.
No, they did not. They shouldn't. 160 for 10 is perfect.
They're fine at what they're at.
Wow, really? They're 160 for 10?
Yeah, they're good. They're a solid point. They shouldn't go less. There's no way in hell they should go less. If they go less, it's obvious. Awful.
Well, I don't know, because I look at Volkites, and Volkites are basically the same unit. And they're, 140 now for 10?
The Volkites don't have the fort. The Volkites don't have the fort.
Yeah, but they have 2 wounds. They're on average the same amount of.
That's true. I have twice as many attacks.
They're 4 attacks a pop.
No, they're 2. That's right. You're 140 for 10.
Yeah, 140 for 10, and they're. Sorry, we're now having a slightly AOS. John, you're on mute. We're having a slightly offshoot to non sequitur. I was just curious because Phoenix Guards are an amazing fucking unit. So, but I'm still shocked they're 160.
The other nice thing about Phoenix Guard is the anointed nearby gives them bravery immunity. So you can take a big block of
That's right.
without any.
That's a huge one. Yep.
Yeah. So got to build my Phoenix Guard. I've been building towards my cities. I got my 60 dark shards ready to be painted. I'm going to get these.
Really? You're building a list you and I played in TTS?
I've been building that list physically even before COVID hit. I've been planning on playing.
It'd be really fun against Lumineth. I don't know how it would do against a dedicated combat army.
Yeah, I got my fulminators. I got those. I think I showed them earlier.
A full list.
Yeah, I actually have the models to make my full list. So that's what I'm going to start working on these. Other than that, what I have been working on, starting now that the GHB FAQ has come out and we have the new points, I will be running my tabletop simulator event. So I've been advertising that and getting that ready to go. And then I've been...
Wait, what was that you told me about some kind of tabletop simulator server with 10,000 games or something?
Yeah, so I've been looking into starting 40K 9th edition. I'm excited for the new edition. I've been kind of getting a little just sluggish through Age of Sigmar, not very excited about a lot of things, and I kind of want to feel excited again. And so I figured during COVID, I may as well play 40K on Tabletop Simulator. So I reached out to some communities, and I joined, it's called Tabletop Simulator 40K Discord server, and it has 26,000 members when 10,000 are online at any given moment. Yep. It's a very active server, and I'm really excited to get into it. I'm probably going to wait till this weekend once the book drops and the actual points drop so that I can actually build some real lists without going off leaks. But yeah, so I have my orcs and my sisters going on, and I'm going to be practicing in Tabletop Simulator and maybe start getting buying some mortifers for sisters. I've seen that Burna bombers are really good in orcs, and so I got some new models I might be picking up and might start painting my orcs and sisters and getting things done. So that's what I'll be working on in the future. I got to see what works. I don't want to commit to anything until I can actually get something solid that I want to work with on. But yeah, so that's what I've been going on. So Alex, I saw you have a tasty beverage earlier that John.
Yeah, I do have a tasty beverage. In fact, I actually have a picture, a picture to my tasty beverage. This is a mix of vodka and soda.
You guys are the worst.
Oh, damn it!
I hate you both.
I thought it was just strawberry flavored bathwater.
No. It's not strawberry. It's certainly not bathwater. So it is vodka and soda water and a little bit of lime and agave nectar and watermelon, which
it's almost healthy.
One of our hosts is deadly allergic to. So
that's an abnormal amount of fruit in there. That's a lot of watermelon. Normal people don't do that. There's something wrong with you. That's very disturbing. I feel this is a personal attack.
Well, John, comparatively, you put 0 watermelon in everything. So
that's true. This is true.
It's always going to look like a lot.
So actually, this is okay. I'm actually not so traumatized that I can't see a watermelon. So I appreciate the social distance. And the truth be told, when we go out and about in the real world, Alex is always one of the best at actually looking ahead and looking out and making sure that we don't, wander into a watermelon festival or something by accident. So,
however,
there's much forgiveness in my heart for this. Am I not
allowed then to hold half of a watermelon in my hand and just with a spoon just eat it during the podcast? It's a no. It's a hard no.
No, I'm saying I have no issue. It's social distance. It's okay.
Alex, what about a melon baller? Ice cream scoop.
Oh yeah, I use an ice cream scoop. Absolutely. You put a little bit of tahini on it. Yeah. That's good.
Okay. Someday I'll just show you how to drink a Pimm's, and you'll enjoy yourself way more than
I enjoy Pimm's.
You got to start paying back a certain debt about a certain bottle before you go showing anybody how to do anything.
Ooh, you still haven't done that. Oh, that's very overdue.
Oh yeah, that is very overdue.
Oh, you just remembered.
Yeah, I just remembered. Yeah, I was like,
I told you, I remember everything.
I need somebody to remind me. There's just some things that are just not prioritized in my brain.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I remember,
The worst part is I haven't been back to California in almost 2 years now.
Holy shit, really?
It hasn't been since the BAO. That's what I was gonna say.
Yes,
a full year and a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't happen this year, so that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did you go to the SoCal? No, you didn't go to the SoCal Open, did you?
I did go to SoCal Open.
You did? That was last
Yes.
November.
Yeah, we went last year.
Yeah. I won that.
What the fuck
What's
was
up?
that?
Oh, did you win that?
I heard. Yeah, I heard a little like super tinny.
Is somebody
voice,
playing the salt powered?
I was trying to get some salt powered robot into my mic, but it is
For
not.
those of you who
to be-
don't know,
to be
if you
honest-
look at go on.
I was gonna say, to be honest, we should really replace that app with Alex's voice and some lines from my Twitch.
Why? No.
stream.
I don't have any of those.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay,
Why not
okay.
both?
Now I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch.
that's true.
Now I'm gonna watch my fucking mouth in the stream. Yeah, just
We
you
got to
wait.
release a version 2 with Alex and Vince.
So hang on, I'm gonna try to. Okay, there it is. It's right. For people who don't know, if you look on the top, I guess it would be the top left of John's screen. That is an app based on some very spicy comments I made in an old group chat we were all a part of on Facebook.
Yes.
Not my finest hours.
The beauty that there was nearly 100 sound bites out of a single conversation, and it was for those that use the messenger. Everybody, most people do voice to text. In this conversation, Vince did voice to voice, literally sending sound bites as his comments in an impassioned 40K conversation. So beautiful 40K sound bites out of that. And I just tried playing some, but they don't come through the mic. So
unfortunately, do not.
So
But,
and at this point in time, you either have the app
or you don't.
It's gone. It's gone. It was a limited edition, you guys. It was a limited edition. So if
You know what's
someone
funny
who
is
has it-
me and Casey actually did pretty well out of selling that.
Yeah, you guys made some good.
We made a little
That's
chunk of change out of that.
There
I
you go.
have the only free copy. Like
Yeah.
literally, it was unable to be released on Apple, and
Yeah.
so I had to give Garrett developer access to my specific phone so he could put the app on there. It was awesome.
I actually got it released on Apple.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got
did
it
you?
released.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
awesome.
have to re-up my developer credentials to get it back on the store.
Okay.
You also
That's
have,
all I
you
gotta
had
do
to
is-
delete some of the spicy boy stuff too, right?
Oh yeah, no. The issue is even though I set it to 17 and up for adult content, the fact that the screenshots had a lot of adult language on it, they're like, no, and I'm like, but oh.
The screenshots you submitted.
My
Explicit.
favorite,
Explicit.
my favorite section is kind of near the middle that I call the wall of fucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will do that sometimes at work. Just kind of run through a whole series of them out in the lab. Guaranteed to bring chuckles from my coworkers.
Yeah,
We have fuck off 2, fuck shit, fuck you 2, fuck you 3. Yeah. The wall of fucks.
The wall of fucks.
Yeah, or like, I don't fucking care. You can add those ones to it, and then you get to like 10, 11, 12.
Oh, no.
62.
There's a solid 30 of them that have F-bombs in them, in the wording, if not the name directly.
You should really look into getting your own like you're the Lewis Black of Warhammer 40K, basically.
I don't want to go there. Lewis Black is a genius, and I'm nowhere near that level.
But
one of my favorite stand-up artists, honestly. Like
it's like
I go way back with Lewis Black.
It's just like screamo anger and like it was like
So
some
quiet
righteous.
is not on this. Is not on
honest
this
truth.
episode.
Oh, that's true. But
Sorry,
Joe
Joe.
doesn't scream.
Sorry, Joe.
Joe doesn't scream or curse.
No, he doesn't.
He just gives love.
But what is on my workbench, I actually have quite a bit besides
Thank you.
this great tasting watermelon drink. Right now, I'm in this weird like prelude to too much on my workbench, and I should be preparing more than I actually am, but I'm not. So that means that I'm going to be inundated, which means that I'm not going to know really what to do. So it's going to take everything a lot longer here. So I have been talking to a lot of my really good painting friends. I've talked a little bit to our friend Adrian from Tabletop Titans. I've talked a lot in length with our good friend Israel Sanchez. In fact, I called him when I was at Guardian Games, which is a game store down the street from me. I was like, I was walking with my fiance and I said, Jamie, we're going to go in. I need to get a few paints. I'm going to call Israel. I'm going to get advice about one paint. I was on the phone with him for 25 minutes in there. She was a champ. But, it's I've got a lot of theories, and I've got these 2 different color schemes for my new dynasty that I'm going to do. One of them is definitely going to be Vaporware or Vaporwave or Synthwave. And then the other one is going to be that like a little bit of a jade style Necron color. So I'm going to do one of both of those. I don't want to build up another unit of Immortals, so I'm going to wait. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to wait, and I'm going to really try to make sure that I can get a color scheme, or I'm going to use the minis from the Indominus set for the test, because I have like 120 Necron warriors. I don't fucking need 40 more warriors. So, I'm going to use my Necron warriors and maybe some other stuff to do the test schemes that I need to do. That's a big project. I'm going to get 2 Indominus kits this week. That's going to be a lot on its own. In addition to that, we have some changes to the General's Handbook, like we've talked about in these last few episodes. And now you guys now you guys make me want to actually put as my background the scheme. It's not that type of vaporware. It's a vaporwave. It's actually someone else made a photoshopped version of a Kinectech Reanimator, and it's similar, but it's very different. And I'm actually going to pull it up and make it my background for you guys real quick, so you can take a look at what I'm going to try to achieve, because I thought it was someone's actual scheme. And then very recently, as in a few days ago, someone had told me, and I was corroborated with Israel, that no, it was in fact someone who just used Photoshop and made a new photo out of the Reanimator with a very unique color scheme. So I felt a little silly finding that out, but I'm going to just try to work with it, and I'm going to try my best to test out a very particular color scheme, and it's going to be pretty great. But, while I pull that information up, I got to say, I am also going to start, the General's Handbook. We knew, like John said, there's been 2 separate episodes where we've talked in length about it. But we knew that there was going to be an FAQ coming with the more recent battle tomes that came out for Age of Sigmar. Basically, since the last battle tome, or since the last General's Handbook, there haven't been point updates for a lot more of the more recent armies. A lot of armies got updated. The Demon Fire Rift, like we had talked, we had talked about in the stream, Demon Fire Rift went up in points, but the mechanics of it did not change at all. There were some small changes for Seraphon. OBR actually got point decreases for some of the more elite units, but Petrifex Elite, which was the subfaction that myself and probably a majority of Ossiarch Bone Reaper players
100% of people played.
100% of people.
Literally every single person who's ever been to an event
100. When you have a subfaction that just gives a flat +1 save to all your units, you're going to use it.
Hey, can I have that for my guardsmen?
No.
So what they did is they changed it to reroll 1s in the combat phase instead. Instead it was +1 armor save, or add 1 to save rolls. Now it's reroll 1s in combat, or in the combat phase itself, which is against melee weapons, which is a massive change. In addition to that, you would normally use the Shield Corps battalion anyways, which was basically giving you a free reroll 1s for your unit anyways, or at least your Mortec guard. So it's a redundant ability. The command ability with that subfaction doesn't give you enough to actually want to do that. So I am going to continue playing Ossiarch Bone Reapers, and specifically I'm going to be switching on over to less likely is Null Myriad, much more likely, in fact 99% more likely, it's going to be the Praetorians, specifically. I forgot. It's something Praetorians is in the name. But it's
Mortis Praetorians.
Mortis Praetorians. It's Catacrosis Legion himself. It's
Is it Praetorians or Praetorians?
English. I pronounce it as Praetorians. Anyways, so we have that going on, and we, I'm gonna build there's a very particular type of list. I want to make a specific video on how OBR players are going to deal with the new normal. It's going to be coming out in a couple of weeks, I would say, but. Instead, I've already been talking about, and if you guys have listened to or watched a few of the video casts or listened to a few of the podcasts, you would know that I've been flirting with the idea of a non-death army for a while. I have not, in Age of Sigmar, ever gone out of the Grand Alliance death. And I was looking at a couple of different options between a few. Primarily, I was looking at Order and I was looking at Chaos. Now, Tzeentch was very tempting. Tzeentch was incredibly tempting. But the problem with Tzeentch is that I hate the models. The models are dumb. I mean, you guys can try to convince me otherwise, or you could say, Alex, you're totally wrong. But horrors in 3rd edition. I think 3rd edition and 3.5 and whatever, and even 4th edition 40K, those demon models were some of the best lesser demon models you will ever see. Best sculpts, 40K, Age of Sigmar, Warhammer Fantasy, it doesn't matter. Those demonettes were awesome. Those horrors were awesome where they're like coming in and out of each other. Those plague bearers were awesome. They're all really cool looking models. Anything before that, not a really big fan of. But, and for the models that came after that, they look pretty good. Current plague bearers look awesome. Current bloodletters, I'm a big fan of. Demonettes, yeah, they're pretty good looking. The horrors, I fucking hate the horrors. They look very orky with like beaks on them too. They just look like something out of like a Blizzard game.
Yeah, they're not what I pictured when I read the stories. And like me, you read a lot of the fiction, and that's not the description I got from reading them in the stories.
Whenever I read about Tzeentch models, and I'm not the biggest, but reading hard for Krug, I always imagine them as kind of like demented water elementals with the two-faced thing that you always see from the acting schools. You know what I mean? That kind of the Jan. I think it's called the Janus face. Is I think what it's called. That one.
Yeah. The split.
You got it. Face. They're kind of offset. Yeah.
So to be honest, like if I do agree the horrors have been dated. I wish all the horrors look like changeling models. I think the changeling for me is what represents a horror model. At least from what I would think is a horror from a Tzeentch. But I think you're all wrong. The Tzeentch models are fucking amazing. I'll give you an example. The Munolith Vortex Beast, amazing model. Lord of Change, amazing model. Carrick Acolyte, amazing models. I mean, yes. I fucking love the Carrick Acolytes. I don't care if they have 8-pack abs. It's unrealistic on anybody.
Honestly,
but it's
Zangors
an amazing
are dope models too.
Zangors are great. And then, you know, if you want to mix in some cool ass Warcry models, the Tzeentch Warcry band is really cool looking. So like I don't know what you guys are smoking. Like I love Munolith War Beast. I think it's one of the coolest model games Workshop ever made. Who doesn't like a monster with a bunch of giant tentacles reaching out to claim its victims?
The model that proves the exception that proves the rule. That's all I'll say on that one.
I just think you guys just hate horrors, which is fine. But
yeah, well, I'm going to hate horrors when a 200-point unit, or now 240-point unit?
No,
220-point unit is 100 fucking wounds.
But that's the mechanic of the game. That's not the model.
That's the mechanic of the game.
50 wounds.
Blah, blah, blah. And Gun Summoner, great model.
This is the model. This is the type of thing when I said Vaporwave. It's got the very high.
That's actually
bright,
more cyberpunk than Vaporwave.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. Okay. Synthwave was also described to me was the term to use. So
that's
a lot of very proper OSL, not like some shitty lazy OSL, which is like 75+% that you would see. I'm going to take a lot more diligent care with how I'm going to be painting these types of models. That is one of the two color schemes that I'm going to try to.
You might want to rotate that because you got it reverse cell phone cammed on your background right now.
Well, I'm not using a cell phone cam, so
no. I was going to make it, Alex. If you do that paint scheme this year, you better be ready for people to tell you. So, are you a fan of Cyberpunk 2077?
Because I'm gonna be like, no,
just
dude,
finish it before October, and they can't talk shit.
Yeah, of course they will. How does that? Come on.
But you have to
just read the I say read the Wikipedia page. You'll be fine.
But guys, he has video evidence that this was not cyberpunk inspired.
Absolutely. So there you go. That's all I need to know. So that's
like,
perfect.
what do you think the point of a podcast is?
Yeah. So that's one thing. What I have on my workbench.
It's just a record of you being right, so you can flex on people. Duh.
Exactly. So what I have is on my workbench is I am bracing for impact for the Indominus release because I'm going to have a lot of things to build. Granted, I'm probably going to have to get rid of a lot of the warriors. I don't really need 2 overlords. I have plenty at home. I'm going to need some of the new things. I'm definitely excited about the Scorpack destroyers, but from the most part, I'm not going to need all those warriors. So a lot of test schemes to figure out. And then, of course, I am starting, hence the dinosaur visor presented by Outer Rim Headwear. I am going to be playing a Seraphon army. That is the army that I decided for myself for Age of Sigmar outside of a Death army. So I had a really, as you guys may know, I've been playing a lot of Total War. Been doing a lot of things since I got my computer set up, my desktop set up, and I have played a High Elf campaign, a techless one. I've done a Von Karstein one where I was able to confederate all the legendary lords, so it was fantastic, including the ones that aren't available in single player initially. And then I played, I redid my Cetra campaign. That was the hardest one for me to play on hard mode. But after all that, the most fun I've had, but initially the most boring, was my Krokgar campaign.
Krokgar, yep.
Yeah. He's in a weird corner of the map. He takes forever to really get going. You just get, it's such an annoying initial grind at the beginning.
Is that the Seraphon or is that the other undead dude?
No, Krokgar is he's a lizardman. He's a lizardman.
He's a Seraphon. Okay.
So when you look at the artwork for a Carnosaur, Old Blood on Carnosaur, that is actually Krokgar's model. That is 100% color scheme, 100% same thing. He's got the little infinity gauntlet that he's pointing out with. It is the correct model as Krokgar, the legendary lord.
Krokgar is also one of the most savage individual legendary lords. Once you hit that max rank 30, oh my! Krokgar beats half armies by himself.
Well, once you get a Grimlock, his T-Rex, his Carnosaur, it gets real nutty real fast. I got my own little Carnosaur here now, or one of them. But yeah, so I got really excited, so I'm going to start Seraphon up, and I've been looking at
Chameleon Skinks.
Oh no, they're okay. Not as good since the most recent Battle Tome. But I have a couple of different lists. I've talked to Jeremy in length about them. My other fellow hosts have already heard me talking and deliberating about a few things here and there. And yeah, we're really excited to get things started up with that. I'm gonna get a few special 3D prints done, and we have a little invasion by one of my cats. And
I was looking at some of the ones you showed. I've actually seen in person as the substitutes before.
Yeah. So it'll be really fun. It'll be a really good time, and it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be something I don't have nearly as much kind of priority taken towards. Like, I want to put them on the table, and I want to go down to Jeremy's dungeon and share some bathwater and bring the Seraphon out for that. But in the meantime, I'm going to, build up a lot more of the Necrons. But I'm still excited about Seraphon, and I've been looking at lists, and they look pretty fun. So we're going to do that, but that'll of course come with time. We, of course, have Vince on, executive producer of the Wide World of Wargaming, creator of the Wide World of Wargaming, and we want to have a conversation with him because there are some big changes coming around with the Wide World of Wargaming, of course, and, we have a lot to talk about. So
we do Vince, we got some things.
Vince, of course, we've known about the Wide World of Wargaming. You've been a part of it. We started splitting up the segments about 10 episodes in. What made you initially start this organization?
So anybody who knows me knows that I am physically incapable of shutting the fuck up ever for any reason. It is not a skill that I possess. I'm a chatterbox. I have been playing games my entire life. Frankly, I have heard lesser people, both players and broadcasters, start podcasts in many communities, and I thought that I wanted to do something better than what I was hearing. Now I've been a broadcaster for, I'm going to argue, 7 of the last 10 years. I did it while I was at St. John's. I did it working for Calix for 4.5 years, and now including the Wide World of Wargaming, I've done it for about 7 years total. And I just love it. I love, having complex, in-depth conversations about topics that matter to me, ranging from sports to politics to gaming to television to movies. I don't care. I just need an excuse to talk. And that was what this was originally, was I needed to express myself. I think we can agree that's why most of us got involved with this. I'm the talky guy, but Alex is not known for forever holding back his opinion. Jeremy sure as fuck isn't known for holding back his opinion. I need not introduce the most interesting man in wargaming, John Feuerhelm. I knew good people, and I wanted to give them an opportunity to put their opinions out into the world. And I felt like we put together a good crew to do that. Shout out Garrett Mulroney also. Don't want to, just the quieter of the bunch.
He's the man behind the curtain.
He's the man behind the curtain.
Actually, no, you know what? I'll take that back. You got to get Garrett drunk. That's the specific thing. Because both Garrett and his brother Logan, they are...
I do have to check.
They're not
does your brother have a wooden leg?
He does not have
what?
a wooden leg.
Does he have a wooden leg? I have never seen I have seen people drink. He's a monster.
Oh God, not well. Ooh.
Logan on 10 drinks is me at 3 drinks.
Yeah. Well, Logan can get drunk. Let's just say that Logan knows how to get drunk.
Logan knows how
He's
to
not
get drunk.
a drunk. He's not a drunk.
Yeah.
He can get drunk.
So
there's a big difference there.
There was an LVO where we were on the high roller. And, you know, when you go to the beer package, the high roller in Las Vegas, which is a really big encapsulated Ferris wheel, and you can pay a little bit more, especially in the evening time. And they have an open bar, and you have a 35-minute loop from the entire Ferris wheel ride to get in, see a great view of Las Vegas, and you have this open bar. Of course, you are highly recommended to and absolutely should be tipping your person. And, you know, sometimes you tip a little bit more, you might get a little bit more booze. So, you know, it's one of those things where you always want to get your money's worth in Vegas. So there was a year where myself, Paul McKelvey, and Logan, we were among the rest of our overall group, but we all said, hey, let's all figure out how many drinks we can realistically fit without like purposefully shooting drinks and seeing how many drinks we have after the loop. You know, it wasn't a specific competition, but we all wanted to kind of experiment and see how far along things were. Now, these were full kind of like well drinks. Paul and I tied. We had 7 drinks in 35 minutes. And we were like, hey, with how much a cocktail costs in Vegas, we got our money's worth.
Absolutely.
Then we look over to Logan and we're like, Logan, how much did you do? We did 7. He's like,
so before you answer, just remember, my brother is a poor grad student of an engineering degree. So damn right, this guy who gets paid less than minimum wage is going to get his money's worth on
out
this
of an open bar.
And he knows the optimal method of getting the most out of his money.
He engineered it.
He engineered it. So now, how many drinks did he have, Alex?
Okay, so he's we're talking. Paul and I are already done. We're about to walk out, and of course, you could walk out with the drink that you had. He's still got a drink. Logan does. So I'm like, oh shit, maybe he's a little less than 7. And so we asked him, we're like, hey man, how many do you have? And he's like, I've had 13. And I was like, really, including that one?
What?
And he's like, 14. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. How you feeling there, dude? Like,
Logan is about that life.
Also, keep in mind, like, he's a fairly tall human being.
He's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, but like even then.
But I mean, he's only 2 inches taller than Alex, maybe.
He's like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
He's a little bit
He's
taller.
about 2 inches. He's about 2 inches taller than Alex.
Yeah, but 2 inches taller.
I can't tell. You guys are all giants when I look at you.
Yeah, but 2 inches taller doesn't mean that you can somehow handle twice as much booze with no sweat, right?
Nope.
Like,
well, we do come from a family of Irish alcoholics, so.
Well, that's not a good positive highlight on this.
Yeah. Now wait. I'm noticing something. Was that the year of Jeremy's background? There was that the year of New Vince?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was. I think it was.
Well,
so you know, Vince.
The new Vince story. We don't need to make fun of me for being broke again. Thank you.
No.
New
Vince was not making fun of you. New Vince was the way that the one member of our team that was unable to join us that year due to personal circumstances was able to come along. And I would argue that, like we see there in Jeremy's background, that the images of New Vince have had more fun than any of us had that year. And the legend lives on in how much fun that New Vince had that year. So that was not mocking. That was honored love of a dear friend.
That image of me is more famous already than I will ever be personally.
Well,
only because Jeff Robinson's holding
it. You still have time, Vincent. You still got many years.
We can only hope. But back on topic, because I am the master of starting tangents and then letting other people run away with them.
It's totally okay. So yeah, tell us a little bit about, well, you've given us a good answer about why you started this.
Because I knew smart people, and I thought they deserved the chance to speak to the community and spread their knowledge.
That's what I remember. I remember it was like, 20 months ago? If we're to get down to it, about 20 months ago, Vince, you approached me and express the idea of Wide World of Wargaming. And I had been interviewed on some podcasts at that point, but my interest in being in a regular podcast was about zero. And when you were talking to me at first, and you're talking about a weekly commitment to a podcast, I'm like, no way. How this is not even possible. But you know what? I'm not going to be the one that shuts this down, because if it works, it's going to be interesting. So that's what I say is I would not be here. I would not be out in the world of podcasting if you had not approached me, Vince. And I will say that I've enjoyed it. This has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to have a platform. This has been an amazing thing that you've created. I think the Wide World of Wargaming, which honestly is going forward, to be clear to all of our listeners, this is not the end of the Wide World of
Absolutely
Wargaming.
not.
At 75 episodes, the Age of Sigmar crew is ending our show, but the Wide World of Wargaming is going to go on many more years. Vince, what is the future of Wide World of Wargaming hold for us?
Well, as always, when a situation arises, you either adapt or die. This is always, you are in a constant process of learning. And one of the things I have learned is that probably the single brand operating entirely may have been a mistake, and that I should have done better with allowing the different segments to grow individually under the umbrella. So we are working towards that as far as what 40K is doing and what X-Wing is going to do. There is going to be a little rebranding involved, but it will still be operating under that umbrella. By the way, if you guys do decide in 6 weeks you want to come back, I'll take you.
I might be a guest on occasion.
Oh, yeah. Look, anytime I can use any of you, well, most of you, Jeremy, I'm more than happy to let you guys come back. But this
Alex will outgrow his bridesmaid syndrome. Don't worry about it.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean, dude?
All I have to do is lob a grenade and people just start going at each other. I love that. All right. But yeah, it's a constant process of reflection and evaluation, and there will always be adjustments that need to be made. We are looking at adding in other systems. That's always been the plan, Alex. We talked about this half a dozen times.
Yes.
I think it's safe to say that were it not for COVID, probably some of what has transpired may not have happened, but I can't speak to that. I was not involved in certain internal deliberations, which is, I don't care about that. Y'all, I wish you guys know, I want everyone to know this. As the founder and executive producer, I wish these guys, I have nothing but love for these guys, and I wish them nothing but the best. They all deserve to have their own show. They are great content creators. I think they are going to do great things. That's it. End of story with that. I want everyone to know there is no beef. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Vince. Yeah, there is no beef. This is never, just to keep it out in the open, this has never been about any internal turmoil or beef or anything like that. Like, that doesn't actually exist behind the scenes in Wide World of Wargaming or anything. Like literally, if we're going to get down it, like, the closest we get to beef is maybe me showing some pictures of some grilling going on and Alex getting offended when that happens. But other than that, there's nothing going on.
Okay. Yeah.
But the reality is that, we have, in the Age of Sigmar show, have really been struggling, if we're to be honest about it, for content under the sort of definition of what our show was created to be. Yeah. And we felt that we wanted to end while we were still strong and everything was good, and start something new that was more appropriate with current times and looking into a brighter future. And so much has been said. This has never been about tension or turmoil. This is growth of us four, but at the same time, we still have great and deep love for the folks at Wide World of Wargaming. That is, will always be near and dear to my heart. I mean, by God, 75 motherfucking episodes. That shit better be near and dear to my heart. I only hope that In Your Phase makes it to 75 episodes, because, that's the thing. For those of you that don't know, out in the podcast world, there are literally millions of podcasters, millions of podcasts, tens of millions of people listening to podcasts every day. There is only a small percentage of podcasts that make it past episode 12. to make it all the way to 75 puts us in the upper few percentage points. I actually tried to look up the number and I couldn't find a stable enough number to make a claim, but we'll just say that we're in the upper 10% of all podcasts to even have lasted through 75 episodes. So it is an amazing achievement for both the crew on the Age of Sigmar segment, for Vince, the executive producer. People don't know how much influence he has behind the scenes on this show as our executive producer, as well as the 40K group, as well as the X-Wing group. Amazing achievement, Vince.
I read a lot of,
none of it happens without you.
I read a lot of websites every day. Let's put it that way. I have a lot of Facebook page, email newsletters, and a lot of reading to do every morning when I wake up. Less as of, well, I shouldn't say less. For a while, it was less as of late, but the last couple weeks, it's been, it's fast and furious.
Okay.
With Ninth Ed coming out for 40K, we obviously are. Unfortunately, we are going to have to set that aside for a little while, just due to life circumstances among the crew. Michael Schwartz is going to be moving to over near Garrett. Actually,
moved. Yeah. He has actually been living here for 3 weeks.
So
now.
fast.
Him and his lovely wife Sarah, and the Schwartzling, as they're calling him. And then me and Ben are going to round this out to 75. We're going to keep in touch about when I can put together a third and a fourth guy. And X-Wing is going to roll on. That's the one that I have the most direct control over, as it is the game I play basically on a daily basis. I interact with that community on a daily basis. Not to say that I don't with 40K, but it's like I said, I stepped back from 8th edition, and that probably
Ninth is a brave new world.
Ninth is going to be different. Not as different as I think a lot of people are hoping or expecting, but it is going to be different. I very much look forward to not seeing games decided by the bottom half of turn 1. I'll put it that way.
Unfortunately, based on the early coming as of England, the Twitters I've seen, there's about a 70% winning rate for first turn players right now in the page.
I'll believe it when I see
ninth edition.
Why you gotta come in here? Why do you gotta come in here and bum everyone out?
Yeah.
I'm not bumming everybody out. I'm just saying, like, it's just
Le Bogeyman. There he is. That's why he's doing it.
Jeremy, I think it's safe to say that in almost every edition we've ever played, in the beginning, shooting armies have an advantage. It is inherently easier to run a gun line.
I don't think that statement was purely shooting. It's just that on a smaller board, even like fast assault armies with turn 1 advantage usually win the game.
No, you're not any closer together. You just have a smaller deployment zone.
You have a smaller back line, so shooting armies.
That is a fantastic point.
Shooting armies that would normally deploy behind the back line of your front deployment zone now have to be closer.
Yeah,
it's actually a lot harder to be
so really the difference is how you deploy your, or at least from, I can only speak for me. Let me cut that off. I can only speak as a guard player, and y'all know I don't play nothing but guard. That's it. Treads and boots. That's all I got.
But I'm a big Necron player, by the way.
Bullshit.
You got a big Necron army now.
Yeah, the huge.
No, everyone tells John he's got the biggest army.
He's a huge Necron player, and it's going to be beautiful, a beautiful Necron army. But
actually,
it is going to look pretty good because it's John, and he doesn't half-ass anything.
By the best.
It is going to be about the deployment of your screen, and if you fuck that up and you get ran up on, hey, bro, that's on you.
Yep.
Like, that's the way that game is played.
I just, like I said, like, who knows? Like, but I really hope BCP tracks who goes first in game.
We got
with all the new metrics. Who knows? Maybe that'll be a cool metric. We'll see how that goes.
That's strange. Normally, that's normally my trope is to positively give.
This is my version of giving Garrett shit because I don't really have anything to give him shit about, so I don't know what.
I mean, when you never can win a game, there's nothing really to give me shit about.
Oh, come on,
except for the fact that you can't win a goddamn game.
So let me point this out. We have the first AOS ITC winner, the current AOS ITC winner, potentially the next year ATC
Not this year.
winner.
Not this year.
I said next year, for fuck's sake. Listen to the
Next
words
year.
I say. With enough coaching, maybe we'll get there. And then John will be next on the list. And then
no, I'm not going to win. Okay, let's be real. John's not going to go out and win any tournament circuits. Probably not any major GTs. I might run a major GT more than I would win a major GT.
Well, you're still a winner in my heart. If I could give you my trophy, I would.
I don't suck, but I know where my skill is relative to how much I get to play and how much I get to practice. And if I had a dungeon down the street from me, I might play a little more hardcore too.
I prefer your term catacombs more than dungeons, because
did you like that?
Yeah, because dungeons is where people are put to be forgotten. Catacombs are put where people can remember.
Yes. I put some thought into the entire choice of words there.
Is there a name for torture chamber in French?
Yes, there is a name for torture chambers in French.
Yeah, it's like an oubliette. That's what I said originally, right?
No, oubliette is a term for forget hole. It's like
that's right. We throw them down the hole. Yeah. That's torture. I might piss on you in the hole. That's torture.
No, there is definitely a French term for a torture room. I forgot what it is, so it's definitely there's definitely one.
Torture chamber in French is chambre de torture.
No, that's just the same thing.
Come on!
It's a little translation. I'm pretty sure there's an actual term for it.
To answer your snipe at me, BCP is working on something that could possibly.
It's not a snipe at you, Garrett. It's from bottom of my love. These are all things I think will be valuable for the purposes of advanced analytics into performance. And
so what I assume honestly is that Jeremy is a guy who, shall we say loosely, I'll use develops software products in general for his living. And I'm a person also who, though it's not like what you do, Garrett, I also use software to make things happen. And so both of us appreciate when clients, or even worse, random noobs just throw ideas out into the world. Like, why don't you just incorporate a magic button that does everything into your product there? Well, and you, Garrett, as an actual software developer, are an easy target of outlet for that frustration. I myself have for years, as you well know, teased you by suggesting ideas of things to throw into the app. And I assume that Jeremy does it out of love for the same reason, because I mean, it is delicious.
For me, personally speaking, if Games Workshop does not collect that at least basic level of information about its addition and balance, they're doing themselves a disservice. The game, any game, should try to approach the chess win rate between who goes first and second in a turn-based game system. Mm-hmm. Ideally, you want to do better than chess, but that's almost unrealistic. You want to get as close as possible to the chess win rate for who goes first versus second, which I believe is 56%.
I think I remember hearing 56 or 57 at some point.
Yeah.
No. GW has been developing games for 32, 34 years, maybe.
Yeah.
And at no point,
models.
At no point have they achieved balance outside of a single boxed game.
Yeah, but also, what the fuck? You're looking for balance in a Games Workshop game? Like, first of all...
Well, they've changed their tune, right? I mean, they've basically put Mike Brandt as kind of like the chief executive, like, basically mission / competitive.
I choose not to have this conversation.
But John's going to completely bow out of this conversation.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
like a watermelon is now talking to him.
It's the point I'm trying to say is Games Workshop cares more about like balancing their game for multiple reasons. We won't talk about any of those reasons specifically, but it definitely is a change from the last few sets of editions. And I'm saying if you're going to care about one thing in a turn-based system, is to try to get as near as possible to the chess win rate for going first.
That's a goal. That's a goal. I would say that they're really not trying to balance their game completely, because if you want to have a completely balanced game, that's boring as fuck. Like, I think it's clear that some armies are harder to play than others.
It's definitely fucking chess has been around for centuries.
If you're gonna play Overwatch, okay? I know that you like Overwatch. If you're gonna play Overwatch,
but Overwatch is not a balanced game.
No.
But let's look at X-Wing, since we have Vince here. X-Wing is a game that tries to have a mechanic that takes away from the go first, go second mechanic with the secret moves. I think it tries to. And Vince, I played the game like 5 times, so I know the basics of it. You tell me, is it achieved in X-Wing?
So X-Wing tries to bridge this gap with the bid mechanic, which is the more points you leave out of your list in construction, if you have the greater number, it's the bid. If you have the control of the bid, you have the choice of moving first or second with all of your ships at a given initiative. I don't want to go too in-depth on this, but essentially what it means is that you have a choice between either control of the initiative or control of your reaction. Now, they have not really achieved the perfect balance on that. We have a joke on, if anyone's ever listened to the X-Wing show, we call it Big Orange Numbers and the Force. But that's an in-depth conversation. I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to go in-depth on it in here. It's just that there will always be an imbalance in a game of this many variables. Like when you have 33 official factions, right? Do I have that number correct or close to that?
Sounds about right, maybe.
When you have that many official factions with that many special rules and that many different combinations of lists, you will never be able to achieve, and I hate to say, Jeremy, I agree with you, this should be the goal. But if you hit a 65, you should be happy. You know? Like StarCraft 2 is 13 years old and they still can't get it right.
For me, it's let's ignore the variable and just like have 2 players play 40K with the same exact army and about the same level of skill set, and it's just find out what the win rate is like from a first person advantage. And I think that's what that's what I would like to. So you get to do it 2 ways. You can do this in a control setting, or you could do it on a mass data gathering, like basically population analysis, which is why applications like Garrett are valuable, because you can select your sample size from the entire population.
Can I have a Garrett app, or did you mean BCP? Like, can I upload Garrett to my phone and just have the statistical analysis on standby? Is that possible?
Can I get a special version with his face on it? Can I have actually Vince's face and Garrett's face on my phone next to each other?
I would pay $14.99 a month for that.
For me, it's really simple. It's called the soon to be called In Your Face Podcast.
By the way, that's a dope name. That's a dope name. I'm proud of you guys for that one. That's pretty good.
We literally bashed each other's faces for hours brainstorming to come up with it.
Only because our first
how long
pick
did it
was
take us to come up with Wide World, Alex? That was a long time.
It took a minute.
That was like 6 months. I think we did testing.
No, not 6 months. I would say like 3 or 4 though, for sure.
Yeah.
Our first pick was what was it? Big Dice Energy, and unfortunately that was taken.
That's too bad, because that's dope.
We all like Big Dice Energy.
Shout out to Big Dice Energy for a good name grab. That's a good job.
Yeah, and then there were a few across the board that certain people were less, willing to accept. So, I really like Dice Daddy. I really like Dice Daddies, but we have some prudes in the group. So,
prudes. No, Dice Daddies is, firstly, it's too close to D&D Daddies or Dragon Daddies or Dungeon Daddies.
Bone Daddies.
There's no Dragon Daddies.
Like I said, only one of us is the Bone Daddy, and that's
only
you,
one
Alex.
Of us is the Bone Daddy.
Boner Dad.
If that's not your Tabletop Simulator name, Alex, you are absolutely failing your podcast.
I played a few games of Tabletop Simulator. I'm not a huge fan of it, but with the Seraphim, I might.
It takes
Come on,
time.
Alex, come back. You
want to do test games? You want to do some test games with me, Garrett?
Oh yeah, I do.
Well, again, some of us, it's all we can do is play some Tabletop Simulator. Some of us get to go to the oubliette, the catacombs.
I get served with some bath water, and really, I just 3 days later, I just wake up in the middle of the street and just I have a scar on the side of my abdomen.
Luckily, your kidneys are regenerative.
Guys, I'm just trying to condition Alex. I'm giving him basically keywords that trigger the subconscious mechanism.
He's trying to Winter Soldier him.
Yeah, that's right. That's the only way
that'd be great.
This guy.
Okay. When I played my first Nighthaunt game in 9 months, 10 months, I made a big mistake I should never have made, and he was how many times
you played Jeremy in the dungeon? That was a mistake.
I was like, that's not even a mistake about Nighthawk. That's a mistake for
everyone.
Do not ever do that for any army.
So you decided, I'm going to kick the shit out of Alex so he remembers not to do that.
Yep.
That's how you get better.
I am looking forward to, going on our own journey, and I want to say,
of course,
thank you, Vincent, for putting us together in this form in media. I mean, one of the big things, if it wasn't for this podcast, I don't think I would have been a Corsair for the most part. Like, I think that's a big driver of it. It's putting me together with some of my favorite people when it comes to wargaming, so I really appreciate that. If you see a tear run down my eyes, it's because it's an emotional time for all of us because we're saying goodbye and starting something new.
It's a mixed blessing and feeling, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the business, That's the business.
At the same time, this means collaboration. This means expansion. This means growth.
Alex, save the crap for the customers, okay?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say at the same time, it means our audience, our listeners, will have more content to involve themselves.
Absolutely.
They want.
So are you? Let me ask a question because I've been pitching and not catching for a little while. Are you guys? I haven't asked. Are you guys moving to pre-recorded content that you upload at specific days? Are you going to live stream mostly? Let me help you sell. What are we doing here?
So we're going to be doing a mix of different things. We have a variety of different people with a variety of different personalities, of course. John, Jeremy, Garrett, Alex. Yeah, just to put it mildly. So we all want to put out a lot of different content out here. We are, of course, still going to have a weekly podcast / video cast. We want to expand into things like live stream AMAs, live stream events for actual things related to the battle tomes and rules and releases, both for Age of Sigmar and, as we are all veterans of 40K, our journey into 9th edition as complete noobs. So we have that journey. We're going to continue with regular battle reports.
None of us are noobs in any edition of 40K anymore.
You know what I mean? Getting into it after a long hiatus. In addition to that, we want to expand on our weekly, if not more frequently, battle reports, depending on if Garrett possibly has a new setup for himself in the near future, or even John for live streaming events on Twitch or otherwise. We are going to be having tactic reviews, in-depth reviews of battle tomes, missions, battle plans, etc. So we have a lot more content on the way. It's going to be a lot more than just a video cast with a weekly battle report. There's a few other ideas we have in the mix, but if you guys want to share a little bit more,
stuff like that.
There you go. Unboxing videos, things like that.
Well, there will also be, eventually we will, with the streaming services we'll provide additional, basically, games outside of my dungeon eventually down the road. And one of the things I'm looking forward to is, and this is something, we've been harping on Garrett for a while, but he doesn't like to TO his own events. And I would like to volunteer sometimes during my day to just basically, if people are playing, if TTS keeps going after COVID, I'd like to come in and see what people are playing, give him some coaching tips and basically rules answers. I'll be at the disposal of the community as abroad. We haven't decided how that's going to be yet, but I would really like to do that more. I like coaching. If you didn't know, I enjoy coaching Alex with tough love and rigorous push-ups.
Yeah, he likes.
At least one of us is doing.
So if you ever doubted Jeremy's quality as a coach, his first student took second in the ITC after some coaching. So I think that's a pretty high accolade.
Also, if you look
as far as that goes, and
if you look on Alex's back, the whip marks are still there from Jeremy's coaching.
There, I swear to God,
there's something on his back from it, that's for sure.
That requires
like
a subscription to our OnlyFans account, for the record.
Once again. And that's even OnlyFans. That's what we're really talking about with In Your Face is
John has no idea what OnlyFans is.
Oh, no,
Okay.
Think about that again. I
was trying to give you an out, but all right.
Oh, no, wait. So, anyways, I have no idea what that means. I hope Donna's not listening. Anyways, throw me the motherfucking off track. What we see with In Your Face is an expansion in all directions. the four of us actually engage in a lot of different separate and individual media projects. And In Your Phase is not only the combination of everything we're doing as far as our current podcast, video cast, live streaming, and all these things, but it's everything else that we do wrapped in Your Phase events, as Jeremy was hinting to, product reviews. Hell, you might even see hot pepper videos, my friends. All of it.
I will watch hot pepper content.
In Your Phase.
I will watch gardening content if it comes from John Farrell.
What we gotta do? Hey, Garrett, are you awake? Hey,
Just about.
Are you allergic?
Way
to peppers?
past his bedtime.
Are you allergic to peppers?
No, Garrett is a fiend.
One of the few things I am not allergic to, peppers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if you guys will remember last year during the Don't Fear the Reaper challenge, folks like Alex, of course, ate one, no issues. You know, a lot of people.
Okay. Oh, there were issues.
No, you had no problems when you ate it. You were fine.
From the surface. I mean,
okay. Well, I don't know what happened inside, but other people
there was a 55-gallon drum of coconut milk behind him for when that pepper was done.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I sent a bag of peppers to Garrett, knowing that he enjoys them, so they wouldn't go to waste. Not only did he make chili, he put them on sandwiches. Like everybody else was like, okay, I'm gonna eat this pepper. I'm eating the pepper. Oh my God, I've eaten the pepper. And Garrett's like, yeah. Okay, let me mix that into some food. I'm gonna make a salad. Got some chili going on.
The scariest part was making sure I don't touch my eyes after cutting the pepper.
That is a concern.
That would be bad. That would be painful.
That's the hardest part about getting peppers from John.
Just wear your COVID-19 latex glove. But I want to come full circle with something that Vincent told John earlier. You know, he's rocking the salt and pepper look, but really, the procedure should be pepper and salt. You should always follow any kind of acidic pepper with salt. Salt is the best remedy to deal with.
Salt, you say?
I was told by my great friend and roommate in college who grew up in Mexico, and that was the trick. They would fucking just eat they would just pour salt in their hand, like, you know, and then just basically lick it after eating something really spicy. The salt
that's my trick.
Diffuse spiciness.
It is a base. It is a base, and the acidity in peppers, or so what causes it to be spicy, is an acid. The base counteracts the acid.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you're dealing with Carolina Reapers and all that, you're gonna need a lot of fucking salt.
Almost enough generated by my podcast.
Like a salt-generated robot or something.
So I gotta ask, for X-Wing, we know that
Garrett, you're muted.
Sure. All right.
Oh, okay.
For X-Wing, we know that you guys are going to move forward. You know, you're going to plan on adding new systems, and of course, you know, 40K is going to come back, but in a little bit of a different fashion because of those same life events that we had talked about. Are there any other changes in terms of content that we should expect out of?
So we're you guys aren't familiar with the X-Wing community in the Bay Area. The other two guys on the show, Drew and Jeff, and I, are all kind of what we call adjacent to a really big Bay Area group called Team Militant Casual. And they've been running what we call jank tank events for the last couple months. And we're all kind of getting into calling X-Wing game live eventually. And for me, that's that's not new. Jeff is a little bit better as a review guy. He's the analytical head of the program. And then Drew is Kid Wonder. Like, Drew has, I believe, twice finished top 8 in Worlds in X-Wing in his life. And that's despite taking like a 3-year hiatus. I long to be as good at X-Wing as Drew was at X-Wing. Forget is. I'm not as good as him now. But one of the things that we are talking about doing is, this is just for us, this is going to be funny as hell. We want to do a who are the old guys from the Muppets?
The Peanut Gallery?
Yeah, exactly.
The two guys in the Silent King set.
Statler and Waldorf. We want to do the number one thing we're talking about is doing Statler and Waldorf for review X-Wing games. That's my baby right now. It's absolutely going to be hysterical because Drew is almost as clever as coming up with how to insult people as I am, and I'm pretty good at it.
So more like what's that like sci-fi show where it's like
MSTK? Yes,
Mystery
that's
Science
exactly the
Theater.
vibe we're going
Yeah.
for. Is MSTK
Yeah.
3000? That's
you just need to get a gumball machine.
either that or a dude with a really big nose. But we're working on it.
You know, that's an interesting idea because when I was doing the live cast at the LVO last year, one of the things that people kept
You
saying
guys
to
were
me was
great,
like,
by the way. You were
thank
really
you.
good on that live cast.
thank you. What people kept saying was like, why didn't you comment on the game more? And I'm like, well, I'm 5 feet away from the players.
Yeah.
If I start giving tactical insights of what I see on the table, it's actually going to affect the game.
It's
But
side
if
gaming.
instead you give a, as we say, Mystery Science Theater 3000 sort of comic overview track, laugh track as it were, that might not only be hilarious and entertaining, but doesn't throw the game. So it's everything. And of course, if you're a player, you can watch the game, you see what's going on. And so what you really need is some nice entertaining stuff. So that sounds fun. Plus X-Wing, how long is an X-Wing game? They're like 30 minutes or something?
90 minutes. 75
90
to 90
minutes?
minutes.
Okay, cool.
So, I mean, if you can, and TTS helps with this a lot, actually. You can get access to a lot of games really quickly and just essentially line them up and run 3 games, time after time, comment on all of them, and then upload that as a single pack, and boom, there's your content for the week if that's how you want to do it. Because you guys know me, this voice doesn't quit. I could go for 15 hours and I'm not even gonna I won't even rasp. But that's
And you know what? To cut you in there, Vince. People that don't talk a lot don't actually know what that is. Decades ago when I first started teaching, because I teach about a 32 to 40 hour class once a month. My voice wasn't actually up to teach it. By the end of the week, I would get hoarse and raspy. I would lose strength. And it took years to build up the strength in my vocal cords to be able to speak 8 to 10 hours a day over a group of people for 4 or 5 days in a row. And even then, I feel the strain at the end of it. And all of us go to the LVO, and Alex is famous for overstraining his voice, talking over the crowds.
To be fair, Alex's voice does that because he drinks a lot of gin.
No. It's been years since I've regularly drank gin. That was college. Whiskey. Lots of whiskey. Too much whiskey.
I think it's just,
not enough whiskey.
I think
It's just-
Alex
there's
yells at his opponents
never enough
constantly.
I just scream at my opponents, and then they just don't want to play me anymore, and they just concede.
What, you play
guys.
Israel every week?
Hey guys, it's just that Alex.
It is what it
so
is.
much bodily salt. He has no water left in his body, and that's why
I'm very hydrated, sir.
Not enough, apparently.
Whiskey is
Not
not
enough.
hydration.
Whiskey
show
does
you how
not
hydrated
hydrate
I
you.
am.
It's in fact
Whiskey
the
does not
reverse.
hydrate.
But look, there's all of this is a question of when are we going to be allowed to get back to regular gaming. That kind of is the lowest common denominator.
2021.
We hope.
2023.
Well, hey, Garrett, don't even joke about that, okay?
Roll D20. Don't roll 1, because if not, we're just gonna go back.
We're just getting.
Little ones.
Wear your fucking masks, people, and I say that as me.
Was that supposed? You know what?
Jeremy,
I don't want to know.
you
I
know,
don't want to know.
no
I
more
don't wanna
said.
know.
I don't want to know. I don't
I
want
wanna
to know.
know.
I will say we are very excited for all the big changes that you have to go through, that you plan on going through with the Wide World of Wargaming. And, it has been a fantastic time working with you this entire time, both before and afterwards. So, and into the future, we really look forward to collaborating and talking about some new shit and getting into the thick of it with you, dude.
Look, and I appreciate everything that you guys sticking with my crazy ass for 75 episodes. I am famously not the easiest guy in the world to deal with. I like to think that I'm actually fairly easy to work for. I work question, quotation marks as loud as possible. But I think we did something memorable here. We accomplished a certain amount. And like I said, if it were fuck COVID-19, and I'll leave it at that.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. So
I'm proud of our legacy.
With that being said, for Wide World of Wargaming, is there going to be any changes to the URL? Should we be aware of any sort of privy changes?
So
to
we
other
are going
things
to
for our listeners.
We are going to do a little bit of what they call in Europe devolution.
Okay.
We're going to be breaking it. We are going to set up a separate page for X-Wing going forward. when we do kick back off with 40K, we are going to start another page for that with a new name. I'm working on that. X-Wing's new name has been decided. We're going to announce that on the show this week.
Oh, okay.
No, you can't have you. I'm not going to give it up here. Sorry.
Well, here's a question, Vince. When is the show released?
So because of certain things, we are going to be releasing the X-Wing show this week on Saturday instead of Thursday.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it can't be helped. We got 3 people. We got the Night Owl, and we've got two guys who live normal lives. What can you do?
Understood.
But anyway, the new name for X-Wing is decided. I'm very excited about it, and the possibilities just in terms of marketing. I'm excited of what I can do with this new name. And I'm happy to say that I didn't come up with it, which means that it might actually be good.
It's not in your phaser, right?
No, it's not.
That's a Star
Why would
Trek.
there be a phaser? That's Star Trek. That'd be really funny. You make like
How
a
did you
fully
come
Star Trek.
Dude, how did you guys bite on the most obvious bait John has ever put on the end of a hook? Are you serious?
I know.
Oh, well, it's because we like to make him feel like, he's still relevant.
There you go, old man. You're good.
And so, for the Wide World of Wargaming, this has been Alex, Jeremy, Garrett, and Vince. We fucking love you all. We'll see you next week for our last goddamn show.
Also, do listen in on Saturday. We, Jeremy and I, are going to be on Mr. Meth's AOS Rantcast. We're going to be talking a little bit about
I talk with him on Twitter once in a while.
Fuck yeah. We're going to talk, we're going to go into it with Age of Sigmar. We're going to talk a little bit about things. It's all for a good cause. There's fantastic raffles, fantastic prizes. There's going to be a lot of really cool stuff. It's 27 hours long, and we're only going to be about 8 hours into it. So
I'll be on it as well.
You're going to be on it as well. Fuck yeah. Okay, cool.
Well,
have a great night.
Garrett, you can only be on if you drink whiskey, so get tough. All right. See you guys later.
Have a great night.
Thank you, Vince.
If I can, just take 20 seconds here. Thank you guys very much for letting me come on at least one time for posterity, and to kind of put a bow on it, and just kind of talk about where we're all going from here. I love you all. I'm proud of what we've done, and I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck.
Thanks, Coach.
You as well, man. I'm very excited to see what you got coming forward. I'm incredibly excited to hear about the new name of the X-Wing podcast. And seriously, best of luck moving forward. Have a great night, everyone.